Police have launched an intensive investigation in a Cheung Sha Wan subdivided flat and at a landfill after a Vietnamese woman reported missing since last Saturday. Premier Li Qiang says China's economy continues to contribute to the needs of the world economy and its own development. And the ceasefire between Israel and Iran seems to be holding, with both declaring victory in the brief but deadly conflict. Good evening. You're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Chu. Police investigating the disappearance of a 49-year-old Vietnamese woman missing since Saturday now suspect she had been murdered. A manhunt is underway for a male suspect, while a 25-year-old non-Chinese woman has been arrested on suspicion of assisting the killer. Quentin Yang has more details.
Detectives from the West Kowloon Police District carried out overnight investigation in a subdivided flat in Cheung Sha Wan, where the victim was last seen entering with the fugitive on Saturday, but never seen living. Forensic teams scrutinized the scene using ultraviolet arc lights to detect traces of blood. Officers left in the early morning and removed a large haul of potential evidence, including clothing, bottles of bleach, and cleaning agents. The search then expanded to the West New Territories landfill, as the male suspect was caught by surveillance camera discarding what appeared to be heavy objects in back alleys and bins near the flat earlier. While treating the case as a potential murder, Superintendent Garkham Lam of the Kowloon West Regional Crime Unit stressed it is too early to speculate on the victim's fate, pending forensic tests, as no body has been found. The arrested woman, who holds a recognizance form, a temporary immigration document, is accused of helping her boyfriend, the primary male suspect, evade capture by arranging hideouts. Meanwhile, the main suspect, also a non-Chinese paper holder, remains at large. Police confirmed the male suspect knew the victim, suggesting the case may involve financial disputes. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Premier Li Qiang expressed confidence in maintaining rapid economic growth and transforming China into a major consumption powerhouse during his speech at the Summer Davos Forum's opening ceremony. Meanwhile, Financial Secretary Paul Chen said Hong Kong has retained business confidence since the enactment of the national security law, with many of them considering expanding their presence in the city. Cheryl Yun reports.
The 16th annual meeting of the new champions of the World Economic Forum, commonly known as Summer Davos, kicked off in Tianjin. In his keynote speech, Premier Li Qiang expressed confidence in China's ability to maintain rapid economic growth and pledged to address global economic challenges, emphasizing China's potential to become a consumption powerhouse. Li noted that despite rising protectionist measures and global trade frictions, globalization remains irreversible, urging countries to take constructive actions to enhance cooperation through consultation and dialogue. Li reaffirmed China's open door policy, warmly inviting businesses worldwide to invest in the country. Meanwhile, Financial Secretary Paul Chen said Hong Kong will focus on economic development and bridging mainland and global markets in terms of capital and talent.
Helping mainland companies, say for example, the current wave of mainland companies going global, diversifying their industry chain, supply chain to Southeast Asia. And at the same time, being a facilitator of two-way capital flow, investment flow. The way we see it, Hong Kong at the moment, after the enactment of the national security law, the law and order is excellent, very stable environment. And the whole community is concentrating our efforts in terms of economic development.
The summit, held from June 24th to 26th, gathers over 1,700 leaders from more than 90 countries and regions across government, business, and academia. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Back to Hong Kong, over 200 employees have sought help after bakery chain Taipan Bread and Cakes abruptly shut down all its stores citywide. A trade union predicts the 41-year-old chain's total debts exceed $38 million. Cheryl Yun reports.
Taipan's factory stood empty, with cooking utensils such as ovens and racks left behind. A notice of possession from the Lands Tribunal was posted outside. One staff member returned to retrieve documents required by the Labour Department. He noted that he was unsure how much salary he was owed, but said he had reached retirement age and was not greatly affected by the closure. At the company's headquarters, doors were locked and a closure notice was posted outside. A group of employees, accompanied by a trade union, sought help at the Labour Department, with some staff owed as much as $400,000. Narin Yip, General Secretary of the Hotels, Food and Beverage Employees Association, said staff had noticed signs of operational difficulties as early as February. She said some employees pointed out that in previous years, the chain would begin promoting mooncakes for the Mid-Autumn Festival right after selling out sticky rice dumplings for the Dragon Boat Festival, but this year it did not. Known for its signature snowy mooncakes, Taipan has operated in the city since 1989. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
CNT Security, a leading security company in the city, has reportedly decided to cease operations by April 2026. Trade representatives described it as a glorious wind-up, as the group has given sufficient time for customers to transition. Chairman of the Chamber of Security Industry, Johnny Ho, said the firm is legally responsible as the termination of contracts is aforementioned, giving adequate time for clients to find new operators rather than suddenly closing the shutters. He noted that the main reason for ceasing operation was that the company's board of directors had already reached retirement age, not due to financial issues. In addition, Ho stressed that the new 468 rule that eases the threshold for contract staff to enjoy proper employee benefits and the rise of workers' minimum wage may lead to an increase of 10% in security companies' operating costs. However, security contracts involving private housing estates and institutions could help disperse the business risks. 5 individuals involved in a violent protest against the city's then newly imposed anti-mask law in 2019 were sentenced today to prison terms ranging from 24.5 to 36.5 months. Quentin Yang reports.
The group, 3 men and 2 women, were among 26 people charged over the disturbance in Wan Chai, which saw thousands of protesters confronting police during an unproved rally against the invocation of the Emergency Regulations Ordinance to ban mask wearing in protests. They had initially been acquitted of rioting charges in 2021, but the prosecution successfully appealed, leading to a retrial where 3 pleaded guilty and 2 were convicted after trial. In delivering today's sentence, District Court Judge David Koh set a starting point of 3.5 years, citing the protest severity. However, he also acknowledged the considerable pressure the defendants faced during the 3.5-year legal ordeal since their initial acquittal. This delay, he noted, disrupted their rehabilitation efforts, warranting a 3-month sentencing reduction for all. Meanwhile, younger offenders aged 20 or below at the time received an additional 2-month reduction, and the 3 who pleaded guilty were granted a 25% sentence discount. Additionally, previous sentences for violating the anti-mask law, which were already served, had also been counted for reduction. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Over 3,800 eateries and merchants will launch discounts and perks for Hong Kongers and tourists on July 1st in celebration of the 28th anniversary since the city's handover to the mainland. Scarlett Chan tells us more.
With the SAR Establishment Day around the corner, restaurants, supermarkets, and hotels across the city will be joining the annual discount gala, with some restaurants offering 21% off the entire bill or on selected items. Catering sector lawmaker Tommy Cheung was pleased to see the significant increase in merchants joining the promotion this year, highlighting that extending the promotion beyond a single day would encourage spending by both tourists and residents. Addressing concerns about the closure of some retailers during the holiday, Cheung stated that the industry's focus was not on financial gains for businesses, as he hoped all citizens could feel the joy and celebrate together on that day. Meanwhile, some restaurants will provide specially designed soft meals for senior citizens. Recognizing that the silver economy remains undeveloped, Cheung expressed hope that benefits for the elderly will be further expanded on the upcoming National Day. Scarlett Chen, Cable News.
Starting from tomorrow, the automated immigration clearance e-channel service will be extended to eligible mainland passport holders. Travelers aged 11 or older with a valid People's Republic of China electronic ordinary passport can now use the facial recognition-based e-channels when transiting through Hong Kong to or from another country or region without needing to pre-register for the service. However, this new arrangement excludes PRC passport holders entering Hong Kong using an entry permit for Hong Kong issued by overseas Chinese diplomatic or consular missions. These individuals must still undergo arrival clearance at traditional immigration counters. Residents in Iran and Israel woke up to an unusually quiet morning today as a ceasefire brokered by the United States and Qatar appears to be holding, despite both sides accusing the other of violating the truce in the first hours after the announcement. Concluding the 12-day conflict, all parties involved claimed they had achieved their war goals, including U.S. President Donald Trump, who insisted the U.S. strike has completely destroyed Iranian nuclear facilities, which differs from a leaked military intelligence. Quentin Yang has the story.
A preliminary Defense Intelligence Agency report leaked yesterday revealed that U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities may not have destroyed the core components of the country's nuclear program, only delayed its capabilities by months, contradicting Trump's claims of having obliterated. Disputing the intelligence at the NATO summit, Trump called the report inconclusive, doubling down on his total obliteration rhetoric.
They don't know. I mean, they did a report. I could have Pete talk to it because his department did the report. They really don't know. We hear it was obliteration. It was a virtual obliteration. When you take a look at the ground above, don't forget, the flame is all underground. But everything above, if you look at the before and the after picture, everything above is burned black.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian countered in an open letter, declaring a major victory and asserting that Israeli and U.S. attempts to destroy nuclear facilities had failed. He announced Iran's readiness to restart nuclear talks with the U.S. Simultaneously, Iran's parliament voted to suspend cooperation with the UN nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, a decision pending presidential ratification. On the other side, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also declared a historic victory in the war, warning of a tough response should Iran restart its nuclear program. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 297 points. Top active stocks of the day, Alibaba was up $2.80. Tencent was up $3. Meituan was up $1.80, and Ping An was up $1.50. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar, euro 9.10, Canadian dollar 5.71. Breadwinners in the city are on track to see their pensions swelling by the highest gain in the first half of the year since 2019. As of June 20th, the mandatory provident fund schemes have logged a return of 0.8%, meaning each member has earned $2,300 on average, according to the latest data by consultancy firm MPF Ratings. So far, a return of 3.81% has been logged for the second quarter, which is equivalent to a return of $10,700 per scheme member. Year to date, the overall return for the first half of the year is expected to be 6.6%, marking the best first half-year performance since 2019 and fifth best since MPF's launch. Across fund categories, the Asian Equity Fund was the top performer this month, with a return of 2.7%, while the Hong Kong and Chinese Equity Fund gained 1.8%, and the U.S. Equity Fund rose 0.9%. The consultancy said while geopolitical and external factors affect MPF returns, investors should not panic. Rather, they should remain invested, be well diversified, and focus on their long-term retirement goals. Onto the weather now. Mainly cloudy with a few squally showers. More showers with thunderstorms tomorrow. Temperatures will range between 27 and 31 degrees. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thank you for watching and good night.